Good morning, class. This is Mrs.Z. It's a lesson 14, grade 5, mission 2, word problem. Okay. Draw and label tape diagram to represent each of the following. So we need to draw a picture of the tape diagram and that show representation of each problem. First, express one day as a fraction of 1 week. So 1 week has more days. So we will think about how many days in a week. So 1 week equals 7 days. Okay. So now if I take this to be my 7 days, I can use 7 centimeters, say 7 centimeters. 1, 2, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 centimeters. So that's my 7 days. But now I need the parallel to it, another part of my tape diagram, which I also need 7 equal units. So that is 1 unit or 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 6 and 7. All right, so units are same size. I was using my triangular ruler. So now this is only 1 day. So this is, we can label 7 days and then equals week. And then this here is 1 out of 7. So this one here is 1. Okay, 1 day. Right. So if I highlight just 1 day, it's 1/7. So what it means this is 1/7 is representation. So when we say 1 day, it equals 1 out of 7 days, then makes week. Okay, so express 1 day as a fraction of 1 week. This is fraction, and this is representation of week. Okay, 1/7 of the week is 1 day. Okay, next, express 1 foot. 1 foot is smaller than 1 yard. So we need to know that 1 yard is equals to 3 feet. Okay, so that's going to be 3 feet. So it would be 1 out of 3 pieces that makes 1 part of the yard. So if I change I could use this as to be now yard, and I will use let's use inches. I'll do 3 inches now. Look, so 1 inch is to about 2.4 centimeters, or about 2.5 centimeters is 1 inch. So I'm going to make that, and now it represents the foot. So here's 1 foot, 2 feet, 3 feet. So now if we say this is 1 yard or 3 feet. Okay, there's not enough room, but that's okay. So this here represents 1 out of 3. So it represents 1 foot, 1 foot, and that is 1 out of 3 parts that makes a whole yard. So we can say that to show this as a fraction of a yard, we can say we can say 1 foot. 1 foot is equals to 1 out of 3 pieces of the mixed yard. So 1 out of 3 pieces the mixed yard. Of course, this is also one third of the yard, 1/3 of your yard. If you're gonna go precision, this is 1/7, 2/7 of the yard, 4/7 of the yard, of the wick. What I'm talking, 6/7 and 7/7 would be the whole week. If you look that day, if you have 7 days out of 7, you have a whole week. If you have 3 out of 3 foot, then you have 1 yard. Express 1 quart as a fraction of 1 gallon. So 1 quart to make a gallon. Quart is 4, so that's the thinking of what could be. So that means if you have 1 gallon, you will have 4 quarts. Okay, so let's see what I can do. I'm going to change my measure. I want to use 4. Let's see if I use 1.5 centimeters. So I'll start with here. 1.5, that's 1. Okay, 1.5 centimeter, that's 2. 1.5, that's 3. 1.5, that's 4. Okay, I made 4 equal parts. And now I'm going to make the other. Now I'm going to do smarter. I need a room above, so I'm not going to make so wide. So 1 quart is this. 2 quarts. 3 quarts. 4 quarts. And I have a gallon. So if you look this, here is 1 gallon or 4 quarts. And then this is 1 out of 4 pieces, 1 out of 4 that makes a gallon. So this is just 1 quart. And if you show fraction of what means 1 quart of the gallon is 1 out of 4 pieces, that makes a whole gallon. So that is, this part is quart. So 1 out of 4 pieces, that makes gallon. All right. Okay, express 1 centimeters as a fraction of the meter. Centi means 100, like century, like cent. All that comes from the 100 century centimeters. So what that means is that 1 centimeters, if you have 1 meter, that's a bigger unit. 1 meter equals 100 cm. Okay, hold on. 100 cm. So 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. But how we can draw to represent, because meter is about what you spread your arms all way. So it's like a little bit more than 1 yard stick, if you know. So let's draw representation. Like we will start to make tape diagram, like let's see, maybe till 8. I can do that and make this also. So if this from here to here is the whole meter, okay, so 1 meter equal or 100 centimeters. Okay, I'm going to make this as representation of 1 centimeter, cm. So 1 out of 100 is 1. This is 1 centimeter. But since I cannot make, I'm going to make like 1, and then I will make dots all the way, and this is here at the end also. Everything is the same size, so I'm going to make that these dots means that is in between, or from here to here is 100 centimeters, 100 units, 100 cm or 100 units. Okay, so you can see that as, so how we can say that what is representation of 1 centimeters? 1 centimeter is the same as 1 piece out of 100 that makes meter. Okay, that is if you look fraction representation, but they say decimal form. So now we're going to do decimal form, which is the same. 1 cm is equals, and now pay attention. If you have only 1 little piece out of 100 pieces, so that you have only this little piece, so you don't have a whole bar, you don't have a whole. That's where the first 0 comes. Okay, when you have 1 centimeters, look, you only have this part. Okay, that's a 1 out of 100 pieces. So you don't have a whole stick, you don't have a whole of a meter, but you also don't have a tenths of the meter. You didn't reach a decimeter. This is called decimeter. From, if you have 10 centimeters, you have a decimeter, which is 1/10 of the meter. So that's where the second 0 comes from. You do not have, if you have just this much, you didn't reach to the to here to 10 to decimeter, so you don't have that either. All what you have is this part, and that is 1 out of 100 pieces that makes meter. So we can see this as a decimal answer. 1 centimeter is the same as 0 whole meters, 0 tenth or decimeters, and only 1 out of 100 centimeters, the makes meter. Okay, I hope that makes sense. The last one is express meter as a fraction of kilometer. Kilo means 1,000, kilo. So this says that 1 kilometer has 1,000 of meters. So you can say 1 kilo km, kilometers, equals 1,000 meters. So one out of 1,000 pieces would be one unit of the meter that represent the 1 out of 1,000 pieces that makes a kilometer. So we're going to do the same thing, make like 2 parts of, and then now it's going to be even more. So I'm just going to like a little bit bigger. All right. So from here to here, we're going to represent that is 1 kilometer, or 1,000 meters. And then if I say that this here is just 1 out of 1,000 pieces, I can, that will represent 1 meter. But then I have 1,000 of those, so I'm going to make this, and I'm going to do dots, which will make 1,000 units, or 1,000 meters. And it goes all the way to the end, which is, so this is just in between dots, tells you that in between there is 1,000. From here to here is 1,000 pieces. So now if I have representation of just one piece of 1,000, we'll do the same. We can say, all right, here is 1 meter is 1 piece out of 1,000 pieces. That makes kilometer. So now you know that this is 1,000 piece, and then how you show this as the decimal form, we can also logically think, if I am going to say 1 meter is same as, if I have just this little piece out of whole 1,000, I do not have a whole kilometer. I have 0 kilometers. Then I do not have 1/10 of the kilometers either, because I only have then 1 piece out of 1,000. So I also don't have 100 piece of the kilometers. I only have 1 out of 1,000 pieces of a kilometer. So no wholes, no tenths, no hundreds, only 1 out of 1,000 pieces. And that's why the 1 meter represents 0 and 001 kilometer. Okay, so that was word problem and lesson 14. It was number 5, representation of meter in terms of kilometers. Number 4 centimeters for the meters. Gallons, quarters to gallons, and foot to yards, feet to yards, and then days to weeks. Okay, and we were using read problem, draw picture, and we kind of write, so it's okay. We did represent, this could be our writing portion of, and it was Mrs. Z. I hope you like it, and see you next time, guys. Stay safe. Bye.